Good morning, friends, members of this beautiful community. I just did a live video in my private community. If you'd like to join that one, that community is private. I've kept it private since I created it, just to keep people's peace of mind if they're sharing something that they don't want others to see or asking questions. It's about healing and embodying the highest versions of ourselves. I've been talking about the Hermetic principles. For those of you that know, you can see the back of my head in my window. And the fourth Hermetic principle is what I was talking about. And it's the principle of polarity. If you've studied Hermetics, read the Kabbalion, I can never pronounce that word properly, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. It's a great book. It was one of the first books I read on my deep spiritual journey, just to really understand the science behind spirituality. I teach spirituality in a non-dogmatic form. So that's, I found, was a really great, my science mind really wrapped around that. Sort of pairs in with the laws of the universe. Every modern religion is based on these principles. So the law of polarity, the fourth Hermetic principle, and really what that is, if you think of a magnet, those opposite poles are what attract, and they are the same, but they are polar opposites. Hence the word polarity. So a really great example is love and hate. If you love something, you're on the one end of the spectrum. If you hate something, you're actually the same energy, emitting the same energy, just in a different form. It's the same. Love and hate are one of the same. So if you're extremely obsessed with something, loving or hating, it's one and the same. And I know a lot of people, it's hard to wrap your head around that. Think of life as a pendulum. If you're on the one side, the other side is actually exactly the same. It's that same energy you put in. So if you're fighting against or for something, you're pushing against. We want to really step into this energy of just neutrality. Neutrality is so important in our day-to-day base. When we speak about manifesting, creating, consciously creating, that neutral point, that 0 point, is our point of creation. When we're super obsessed on either end of that spectrum, we're not creating. We want to come into the middle point of that pendulum, that spectrum, that polarity, and be able to see things from a higher perspective. Awareness, what ascension, like all this spiritual talk is, it's really just understanding things from a higher perspective. That's all it is awareness, perception of the things without our cloud, our cloak of perception. When we go through things in our life, we create these belief systems, we create this perception behind things. And that'll cloud our judgment in day-to-day life, our perception of things. If you get, 10 people sitting in a room and somebody shows everybody the same picture, each and every one of you or whoever's there is going to pick out a different point in that picture based on their perceptions. What ascension, what higher consciousness is about, is removing that worldly perception that we have gained through our life experience and coming back to a clear lens. And that's that 0 point. When we can clean that lens, when we can remove the trauma, when we can remove our triggers or work through our triggers. Sometimes they're a little more difficult to remove, but see them for what they are. We see things from a pure love perspective. So that's just what I wanted to talk about today. This is our journey on this planet, is to clean that away. It's to come back to this place of beauty, this space of just like pure, like a baby being born. You're seeing things through new eyes every day. If something comes into your reality that you don't like, you don't love or hate it, but you just see it for what it is. Because honestly, there's truth in everything. Whether we like to believe it, see it or not, there's always truth to be seen. There's always a lesson to be gained. And instead of fighting things the next time you don't like it, sit back and be like, what is this serving? Is this serving my highest, best good? Or I can just move along to something else. And yes, sometimes, we feel the need to do things. And if you do something in that moment where you're not proud of, forgive yourself. It's like self-compassion is the key to healing, true healing. But I just wanted to come on and say hi. I don't do a ton of lives out of this group. I'm going to start to. I do more out of my private group. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one, that's what I'm here for. If you're not, that's fine. I run a lot of group sessions as well that are so helpful. Or if you are just not in that type of realm, everything that I teach, I post in my lives, on my YouTube, everywhere, for everybody to see, because this wisdom is for everybody. It's there, it's within you already. You just have to tap into it. Anyway, I'm wishing you the best day. I'm gonna go. I have a sty in my eye today. I wonder what the spiritual meaning behind that is. I gotta go try to clear that up because I'm playing a show. I'm a musician, so I have a show today, so I don't want a big sty in my eye on stage. I love you. I hope you have the most beautiful day. And if you're just coming on now, go back and watch this video. It's a good one. I love you. Bye.